Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to News Now, and wow, it's been a long time since I've felt no pressure while making a video, but here is the first video from many to come over the whole summer of 2017. I'm going to be making videos every single weekday from now pretty much until the end of August and early September as well, and then you'll start to see a little bit of a dip in those videos after school starts again. But for now, I'm really excited to be making a video, and I've changed the schedule a little bit. So if you don't follow me on Google+, go follow me right now. I know it's not the most popular social media, but it's something that really works for me very well, and I really like the layout a lot. So if you want to go to Google+, I have a link in the description below where you guys can follow me there. But I announced there my new video schedule, and on Mondays we're going to be doing throwbacks, where we look at old legacy products that really show, when we look back, that really show how much we've progressed in terms of technology, even from 10 years ago. So today, for our very first throwback video, we're going to be talking about the iPod Nano from 2006, I believe. So this is what it looks like. And I have the blue color. I think the other colors were red, black, white, blue, and then I think there was like a pink or yellow color. But anyway, this is not the first generation, but this is probably the most popular and best generation of iPod there ever was. This is back with Steve Jobs' vision, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about the design. First of all, wow, this really makes me very nostalgic, because I used one of these even back in 2011, 2012. I was using one of these before I had an iPhone. This is a tiny little portable music player with it has 4 gigabytes of storage, a flash storage on this guy. You can store up to almost 1,000 songs on this tiny device that fits in your hand. It's less than a pound light. It's super light and thin, and it still looks amazing today. So first of all, let me talk a little bit about the design. So we'll start from the front. You have that it's quite small IPS panel that pretty much doesn't really hold up to today's standards, but at least it was a color screen. It was not a touch screen, but there was a really nice way to interact with it, and I will get to that in a second if you do not remember how to interact with an iPod Touch, or an iPod Nano rather. So this was the screen, and you had these 4 buttons towards the bottom right here underneath the screen. So it focuses. There we go. You have menu, previous song, next song, play, pause, and this also functions as the on-off button, like when you're powering down and powering the iPod Nano up. This is a select button. And then how do you scroll? Well, if you want to scroll through a list of songs or something, let's say you want to scroll through a list, you actually scroll like this. You scroll backwards and forwards like this, clockwise and counterclockwise, to go up and down. It doesn't seem very intuitive, but if you've never used an iPod Nano, let me just tell you, it's really, really intuitive actually. And eventually you get used to it very, very quickly, and it's still a very nice way to interact with your iPod Nano. Now moving on to the bottom, you have a 30-pin connector, which obviously doesn't hold up the focus. So this actually has a 30-pin connector in the bottom and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Obviously, neither of these ports really hold up to date, in that none of them are on the new iPhone, and probably not going to be the next generation of iPod. But for the time, this really was state-of-the-art connections. 3.5mm headphone jack was an upgrade from the previous, I guess, generation of headphone connectors, which was called a flush headphone jack, and it was a huge thing. I actually had one. There was one on the original iPhone actually too. It's a huge headphone jack that requires a huge cable to put into it, and it's kind of a headache. But this 3.5mm headphone jack was really nice. So this was a really, really nice portable music player. Aside from playing music, it actually could do some other things, such as look at photos, check your calendar. I believe also there were some games in it, like Brick Breaker, I remember, was one of my favorite games to play on this little guy. You could also set a screen lock, timers, I believe alarms as well. So this actually served a lot of the, not primary, but a lot of the functions of the iPhone, apart from all of its apps and phone obviously, and things like that. This actually had a lot of features of the current iPhone. So obviously Apple doesn't sell this generation of an iPod Nano anymore, but they still do sell iPod Nanos on their site, although they haven't been updated really in many years. They still upgrade, they still refresh the colors every couple years. So you can actually purchase iPod Nanos that are actually kind of look much different from this, with a touchscreen and everything. And you can click the link in the description below to buy an iPod Nano, or an iPod Touch, which is essentially this but with a much bigger touchscreen similar to that of the iPhone. You can buy that down in the description as well. Or if you want to buy an iPod Shuffle, which I never personally had, but I hear it's an amazing product and the cheapest portable music player that Apple offers, you can also buy that in the link in the description below too. So this iPod Nano, we talked about the bottom, let's talk about the top. There's no power button at the top. Instead, there's this little weird slider button thing. Focus. So essentially, this was, it says hold, and there's a little slider. You can slide. Wait, it's hard to do backwards. Sorry. You can slide back and forth like that. Now, when it has a little red indicator like that, that actually means that the iPod won't respond to any kind of pressing of the buttons. So nothing you do to the iPod will not respond. It'll just keep doing whatever it's doing, whether it's off or playing music or doing anything. It's just going to stay like that, and you can't mess with it at all. So this is usually if you have it in your pocket and you don't want the buttons to accidentally get pressed. That's what this is meant for. It's meant so that your iPod is not going to be sporadically just doing a bunch of other functions that you don't intend it to do. And then if you flip the other way, you can start interacting with the iPod Nano again. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this throwback video. Let me know in the comments below what old product you want me to review for next Monday's throwback video. I'm really excited. I really like doing these new kind of product reviews, and I have a lot of old products, trust me guys. So anyway, thank you guys so much. And it also doesn't have to be from Apple. It can be from Samsung, Google, or any other company. As long as I have the product, I will do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. And also, I just forgot to mention, I do have the original iPod Nano connector that this guy came with. And from the outside, it doesn't look that different from a standard 30-pin connector. But you do notice certain things, such as they're like little, oh my god, this is really annoying. Yeah, so you can see like little outlines right here. They look like little ovals. I don't exactly know what they do. Actually, I think I do know what they do. You have to push them in order to put the connector in. I'm not sure why Apple did that, but it looks normal. But then on this end, the USB 2 or 3. Looks to me like USB 3, but I may be wrong. Could be 2, because at the time USB 2 was popular. There's like a little Apple logo on it as well, which is not the case on current USB 3 connectors. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it, and as always, I will see you in the next video.